There is a fundamental law of power that applies to every conflict you will ever face. It applies to warfare, it applies to office politics, it applies to social circles. The law is this: you cannot defeat a united enemy. If you are facing a group of 5 people who trust each other, who communicate openly, and who share a single goal, you are not fighting 5 individuals. You are fighting a super-organism. Their resources are pooled. Their intelligence is shared. If you attack one, 4 others defend him. Mathematically, you are doomed. To win, you must change the math. You must not fight a group of 5. You must fight 5 separate individuals, one at a time. Welcome to the masterclass on Divide and Conquer. This is the strategy that built the Roman Empire. It is the strategy that allowed the British to rule India, a handful of officers controlling millions of people. And it is the strategy Niccolò Machiavelli outlined as the supreme duty of any prince or captain. Machiavelli wrote in The Art of War, "A captain should endeavor with every art to divide the forces of the enemy, either by making him suspicious of his men in whom he trusted, or by giving him cause that he has to separate his forces, and because of this, become weaker." The core principle here is atomization. In physics, an atom is stable, but if you split the atom, you release massive energy, destructive energy. In social dynamics, a group is stable, but if you split the group, if you sever the bonds of trust between the members, the group destroys itself. Most people try to attack a group from the outside. They try to debate the group or outwork the group. This is foolish. The Machiavellian attacks the group from the inside. He targets the invisible glue that holds them together: trust. Trust is the most expensive currency in the world because it takes years to build, but it only takes one specific type of social solvent to dissolve it instantly. That solvent is paranoia. If you can make person A suspect that person B is acting in their own self-interest, the group unity vanishes. The super-organism dies. They revert to being selfish individuals protecting their own necks. And once they are separated, they are weak. Aesop told the fable of the bundle of sticks. A father handed his sons a bundle of sticks and asked them to break it. They could not. It was too strong. Then he untied the bundle and handed them the sticks one by one. Snap, snap, snap. They broke easily. Your enemies are the sticks. Your goal is to untie the bundle. But how do you do this in the modern world? You are not a Roman general. You are dealing with a toxic clique at work, or a group of rivals, or a family dynamic that is against you. You need subtle weapons. You need to know how to plant the seed of doubt. In Part 2, we are going to learn the first tactical maneuver of Divide and Conquer, the whispering campaign, triangulation. We will look at how to use information asymmetry to make 2 allies believe the other one has betrayed them, without you ever getting your hands dirty. We have established the goal. You must untie the bundle of sticks. You must break the trust that holds the group together. But you cannot do this with a hammer. If you attack the group openly, they will unite against you. Their bond will get stronger because they have a common enemy. To destroy them, you must use a scalpel. You must use the whispering campaign. Welcome to the art of triangulation. In geometry, a triangle is the strongest shape. In social dynamics, a triangle is the most unstable shape. If you have 2 enemies, person A and person B, who are united, you must insert yourself as the 3rd point of the triangle. You become the filter through which they see each other. The technique is called information asymmetry. You tell person A one version of reality. You tell person B a slightly different version. Crucially, you do not lie directly. You simply highlight suspicion. 2. Person A, you say, I noticed person B has been having a lot of private meetings with the boss lately. I hope he isn't trying to take your project. To person B, you say, Person A seems really stressed. He mentioned he thinks you aren't pulling your weight. Just wanted to give you a heads up. What have you done? You have not attacked them. You have positioned yourself as a concerned friend, but you have planted a seed. Now, every time person B walks into a meeting, person A looks at him and thinks, is he plotting against me? Every time person A sighs or looks stressed, person B thinks, he is judging me. They stop communicating openly. They stop sharing information. The super-organism is now blind in one eye. This triggers a famous concept in game theory called the prisoner's dilemma. In the prisoner's dilemma, two partners are arrested. If they both stay silent, cooperate with each other, they both get a light sentence. If one betrays the other, defects, the betrayer goes free, and the silent one gets a heavy sentence. If they both betray each other, they both get a medium sentence. The trap is the fear of being the sucker. Person A thinks, if I stay loyal but person B betrays me, I am destroyed. I cannot take that risk. I must betray him first to protect myself. By planting the seed of doubt, you force them into the defect box of the matrix. You force them to act in their own self-interest rather than the group's interest. Historically, the FBI used this against radical groups in the 1960s, COINTELPRO. They would send anonymous letters to leaders claiming their lieutenants were police informants. The groups tore themselves apart looking for the rat that didn't exist. The paranoia did the work for them. But sometimes, a whisper is not enough. Sometimes, the bond is too strong. In those cases, you need something more dramatic. You need the false flag. In Part 3, we're going to learn how to stage an attack that looks like it came from inside the group. We will discuss how to frame one member for a crime they didn't commit, forcing the group to expel their own strongest leader. We have discussed the gentle art of the whisper, but sometimes whispers are not enough. Sometimes the bond between your enemies is forged in fire. They have history. They have loyalty. They will not believe a rumor. In these cases, you cannot just say there is a traitor. You must prove it. Welcome to the most dangerous tactic in the Machiavellian playbook, the false flag. A false flag operation is an attack that appears to come from one source, but actually comes from another. In warfare, you fly the enemy's flag on your ship, attack a neutral party, and then watch as the neutral party declares war on your enemy. In social dynamics, you create a Trojan horse event. Let's say you are in a corporate environment. You have a rival team that is perfectly united. You do not attack them. Instead, you send an anonymous email to the boss, leaking sensitive information about their project. But here is the twist. You write the email in a style that mimics one specific member of their team. Maybe you use a phrase only he uses. Maybe you attach a document only he had access to. The boss gets the email. He is furious. He confronts the team. The team looks at the evidence. It points to him. "Only John had that file," they shout. John denies it. "I didn't do it, I swear." But the evidence is there. The group panics. They feel betrayed. They feel vulnerable. They turn on John. They fire him. They isolate him. What has just happened? You have triggered a social autoimmune disorder. In the human body, an autoimmune disease happens when the immune system gets confused and attacks its own healthy cells. By planting false evidence of betrayal, you have tricked the group's immune system, their trust, into attacking its own healthy cells, their members. The group spends all its energy hunting for the rat. They hold meetings, they interrogate each other, they install monitoring software. Their productivity collapses, their morale shatters. While they are busy fighting the ghost you created, you are free to advance. You are free to take their territory. This is exactly what the ancient Chinese strategist Sun Tzu meant when he said, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting." If the enemy is fighting himself, you don't have to fight him at all. But be warned, the false flag is high risk. If you are caught planting the evidence, the group will unite against you with a fury you have never seen. You need a way to protect yourself. You need a mask. In Part 4, we are going to learn the ultimate defense mechanism, the Benefactor strategy. How to position yourself as the savior of the very group you are destroying, so they come to you for help while you are holding the knife. We have discussed the attack. We have discussed the whisper and the false flag. The group is now paranoid. They are fighting each other. The super-organism is dying. But there is a danger. If they suspect you are the cause, they will unite against you. To survive, you must wear a mask. You must become the Benefactor. Welcome to the most cynical part of the strategy, the savior complex. While the group is tearing itself apart, you must position yourself as the only stable, trustworthy person in the room. You must become the neutral party. How do you do this? You offer sanctuary. When person A comes to you, crying about how person B betrayed them, you do not gloat. You do not laugh. You listen. You offer sympathy. You say, "I can't believe he would do that to you. You deserve better." When person B comes to you, angry about being falsely accused, you say, "I know you didn't do it. It's terrible that they don't trust you." What are you doing? Validating their pain. This makes them feel safe with you. Confirming their suspicion. By agreeing that it's terrible, you reinforce idea that the betrayal is real. Gathering intel. Because they trust you, they tell you everything. They tell you their next move. They tell you their secrets. You become the information hub. All the communication that used to happen between them now happens through you. You control the narrative. You control the flow of information. You are the puppet master pulling the strings, but to them, you look like a therapist. This is exactly how Iago destroyed Othello in Shakespeare's play. Iago did not attack Othello directly. He pretended to be Othello's most loyal friend. He whispered lies about Othello's wife, Desdemona. Every time Othello got angry, Iago said, "Beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster." He warned him against the very poison he was feeding him. Othello trusted Iago more than his own wife because Iago played the role of the honest advisor. By the time Othello realized the truth, he had already destroyed everything he loved. So, the rule is simple. Never let your hand be seen holding the knife. Hold the bandage instead. Let the group bleed, and then be the one who offers to stop the bleeding, for a price. But eventually the group will be destroyed. The members will be isolated. The territory will be empty. What do you do then? Do you leave them in ruins? Or do you rebuild them in your own image? In the final part, Part 5, we are going to learn the consolidation of power. How to take the broken pieces of the group and reassemble them into a new structure where you are the unquestioned leader. We have reached the end game. You have whispered. You have planted the false flag. You have played the benefactor. The result? The group is shattered. The super-organism is dead. The trust is gone. The individuals are isolated, paranoid, and weak. Most people would stop here. They would look at the wreckage and say, "I have won." But the true Machiavellian knows that destruction is only half the job. Chaos is not the goal. Control is the goal. Welcome to Part 5, Order out of Chaos. When a group collapses, it creates a power vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. The isolated individuals are terrified. They are social animals. They crave structure. They crave leadership. They crave safety. This is your moment. Because you positioned yourself as the benefactor in Part 4, the only one who didn't betray them, you are the only one left standing with any authority. You do not conquer them with force. You conquer them with mercy. You step into the chaos and offer a new structure. You go to person A and say, "I know things are messy, but I have a plan to fix this project. Stick with me and I'll make sure you're safe." You go to person B and say, "The old team is dead, but I'm building a new one. I want you in it." They will accept. They have no choice. They are alone in the wilderness, and you are offering a fire. But here is the trick. You do not rebuild the old structure. In the old structure, they were united horizontally. They talked to each other. They trusted each other. In the new structure, you build a hub and spoke model. You are the hub in the center. They are the spokes. Person A reports to you. Person B reports to you. Person C reports to you. But person A and person B never coordinate directly without you. You keep them slightly separated. You keep the departments siloed. You act as the sole bridge for all information. This ensures they can never unite against you again. Their loyalty flows only up to you, never across to each other. Synthesis, the protocol of divide and conquer. Let's bring it all together. Here is your roadmap for total control. Identify the bond. Find the glue holding the group together. Trust, shared history, common enemy. The whispering campaign. Insert yourself as the third point in the triangle. Plant the seed of doubt. Use information asymmetry. The false flag. If whispers fail, manufacture evidence. Create a Trojan horse event that triggers their autoimmune system to attack itself. The benefactor. While they fight, play the savior. Be the shoulder to cry on. Gather intel while they bleed. The consolidation. Step into the vacuum. Rebuild the group as a hub and spoke system, with you at the center. Conclusion. History is not written by the strongest. It is written by the most organized. A small united force will always defeat a large divided force. If you are facing a giant, do not throw stones at it. The giant will crush you. Instead, whisper in its ear. Make its left hand fight its right hand. Make its head doubt its heart. Wait for it to fall. And then, build your castle on top of it. This concludes our series on Divide and Conquer.